Thank you all for coming on this wonderful and joyous day to celebrate the promises that Daniela and Richard will be making to one another. My name is Gretchen Corwin, and I've had the honor of being asked to lead this ceremony today. I've known Daniela for 15 special years. She's been, next to my husband, the primary person in our family's daily life. She's been there through the ups and downs, and as our family has expanded. We all love her dearly. We were excited to hear about this man that she spoke of so fondly that would soon profess his love for her and ask to spend the rest of his life with her. The gift of marriage is a miraculous one, and we're here to witness the love between Richard and Daniela. When I think of weddings, aside from being reminded of my own, my mind turns toward the wedding scene in the movie of The Princess Bride, where Princess Buttercup, in despair at the presumed loss of her true love Wesley, dejectedly consents to marry the pompous Prince Humperdinck. However, unlike that wedding today, we have the opportunity to witness and participate the joining of two people who genuinely care for and love each other to the point of mutually consenting to forming a new life together within the covenant of marriage. In a culture where promises are easily made and easily broken, the promise that Richard and Daniela are making today is a big deal. They're making a promise to each other that will fundamentally change their lives. They're making a promise to bind themselves together in love. But what does love look like? Love's a word that's tossed around so much in our culture that it begins to lose meaning. I love cupcakes. I love coffee. This is not the kind of love that Richard and Daniela could ever base their relationship upon because it's selfish and superficial. So we ask again, what does love, the kind of love that grows and sustains a marriage, look like? I think Richard and Daniela have a pretty good idea of what this love looks like. It's a way of life made possible in and through the love of God. The Bible tells us that God is love, therefore Christ is God, then Christ is love. If Christ is love, then he's calling us to participate in his love by showing that same love in all of our relationships. But this is a tall order. It doesn't look like the romantic fantasies of our culture. Rather, the love that Christ calls us to is hard work. It's the hard work of building and maintaining trust, the hard work of being thankful for others, even when you're tired and angry with them, the hard work of commitment when it would be easier to give up, the hard work of forgiveness when trust has been betrayed. It's the hard work of being faithful when it's easily distracted, the hard work of putting someone other than yourself first. As humans, our default behavior tends towards selfishness. My needs are what matter most. Or in the words of the bumper sticker I saw recently, it's all about me. Perhaps this way of life will give temporary pleasure and fleeting happiness, but it can never give lasting meaning, fulfillment, and joy to one's life. So it would seem when it comes to a way of life, the choice is clear between self-directed love and self-giving love. The latter is God's norm for human relationships. This means that humans are created to be in relationship with each other. We're not meant to go through life alone, but we live a life with and for the sake of others. Today, you're becoming a reflection of each other. Your individual identities are now bound to each other to the point that you think of yourself is to automatically think of your partner. Because of your promise to each other, you have promised to lose your individual life and find it in the other. This doesn't mean that you stop being individuals with your own particular personalities. Rather, it means putting an end to the me first attitude and always acting in terms of us first. You've made a choice in wanting to embrace the kind of love that always seeks the good of each other, the kind of love that is rooted in faithfulness and commitment to the other, the kind of love that learns to rely and depend on the other for strength and guidance, the kind of love that's patient and kind, the kind of love that Christ shows us and calls us to show others. Of course, this means your marriage won't be perfect. However, it stands as a constant reminder about what your relationship is called to be through the hard work of love. It's the hard work of letting the other be who they are, not as you want them to be. A relationship based on commitment and self-giving love will, in the words of St. Paul, always trust, always forgive, and always persevere. May your marriage bring you all the exquisite excitements a marriage should bring, and may life grant you also patience, tolerance, and understanding. May you always need one another, not so much to fill your emptiness, but to help you know your fullness. May you need one another, but not out of weakness. May you want one another, but not out of lack. May you look for things to praise and often say, I love you, and take no notice of no small faults. If you have quarrels that push you apart, may both of you hope to have sense enough to take the first step back. May you have happiness, and may you find it making one another happy. May you have love, and may you find it in loving one another. Richard and Daniela, marriage is the most important of all earthly relationships. It should be entered into reverently, thoughtfully, and with full understanding of its sacred nature. Your marriage must stand by the strength of your love and the power of faith in each other and in God. Richard, do you take Daniela to be your lawfully wedded wife?
I do.
Daniela, do you take Richard to be your lawfully wedded husband?
I do.
May I have the ring? Wedding promises are sealed with the exchanging of rings. The rings not only symbolize faithfulness to one another, but the theory of the circular shape evokes the unending commitment to one another. All right, you ready? We're gonna take you. He's first. No, you there. Okay. So you're gonna repeat after me.
Okay.
I, Richard, take you, Daniela,
I, Richard, take you, Daniela,
to be my lawfully wedded wife,
to be my lawfully wedded wife,
my constant friend,
my constant friend,
my faithful partner,
my faithful partner,
and my love from this day forward.
and my love from this day forward.
I offer you my solemn vow
I offer you my solemn vow
to be your faithful partner in sickness and in health,
to be your faithful partner in sickness and in health,
in joy and in sorrow,
in joy and in sorrow,
and in life as well as death.
and in life as well as death.
I promise to love you unconditionally,
I promise to love you unconditionally,
to honor and respect you,
to honor and respect you,
to laugh and cry with you,
to laugh and cry with you,
and to cherish you both in this life and the next.
and to cherish you in this life and the next.
Ken's ring. Here we go. This one. I, Daniela, take you, Richard,
I, Daniela, take you, Richard,
to be my lawfully wedded husband,
to be my lawful husband,
my constant friend,
my constant friend,
my faithful partner,
my faithful partner,
and my love from this day forward.
and my love from this day forward.
I offer you my solemn vow
I offer you my solemn vow
to be your faithful partner in sickness and in health,
to be your faithful partner in sickness and in health,
in joy and in sorrow, in joy and in sorrow,
and in sorrow,
and in this life as well as death.
and in this life as well as death.
I promise to love you unconditionally,
I promise to love you unconditionally,
to honor and respect you,
to honor and respect you,
to laugh and cry with you,
to laugh and cry with you,
and to cherish you both in this life and the next.
and to cherish you in both this life and the next.
No, here you go. By the power vested in me by the Universal Life Church and by the state of New York, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to present you the newly married couple, Mr. and Mrs. Richard and Daniela Hannon. So if you want to take out your bubbles, they're going to head out.
So good. Thank you so much.